Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and in just a moment, I'll be giving you a full update on the Bitcoin price, the Ethereum price, and another update on the Celsius situation later in this video, so definitely stick around. First of all, before we get into the crypto part of this video, just giving you a quick update on the US stock market today. This right here is the Nasdaq 100 index on the daily time frame, and as you can see with today's daily candle, the Nasdaq 100 actually performed pretty well, relatively speaking, and it's actually a good sign to see a higher low structure forming in the Nasdaq 100 index on the daily time frame. But keep in mind, in around 1 week from now, we have new CPI data coming out, which will update the official inflation rate of the US dollar, and according to recent history over the past few months, there's a very good chance we'll experience a lot of volatility around that day in around a week from now once again. And if the inflation numbers come in a lot higher than expected, we could see another significant leg to the downside for the stock market and for crypto. But that is if inflation comes in a lot worse than expected, like what we saw last time. But this month, if inflation either meets expectations or actually comes in lower than expected, that would be pretty good news, especially if it comes in lower than expected. We could actually see a relief rally in markets if that is the case. And as we get closer to that date in around a week from now, I'll go over the specific numbers I'll be looking out for. And as always, I'll keep you updated here on the channel every single day and in real time over on my Twitter. So if you don't follow me over there, make sure you're doing that. The link is down below. But anyway, getting into the Bitcoin part of this video, this right here is the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, the Bitcoin price is still clearly within this choppy sideways price range that I've been talking about for a while now on the channel. And one indicator I'm paying strong attention to in order to tell whether or not the Bitcoin price is due to see more choppy sideways price action is this RSI on the daily time frame, because if the daily RSI is trending up, in most cases that means we're not really seeing a lot of bearish momentum and we're due to see either more choppy sideways price action or perhaps some bullish price action. But keep in mind, the overall larger downtrend here is clearly still a bearish trend, which is why in these time periods we're not exactly experiencing a lot of bullish price action. Instead, it's just a pause in the downtrend. And then what we saw these last two times when we saw an uptrend in the daily Bitcoin RSI this year so far, what happened was as soon as the daily Bitcoin RSI broke above that upwards trending line of support, that was when we started that next leg to the downside in both of these scenarios. So if the daily Bitcoin RSI starts turning around again and basically breaks this upwards trending line of support, then that could be an indication that Bitcoin is about to get ready for its next leg to the downside. But as I was saying back here and also back here, I'll be looking towards these actual levels of support in the price action, and this upwards trending line of support that we saw back in April, that was coming into play at around 39 to 40,000 approximately. As soon as we broke below that level, we'll do for our next leg to the downside. And then same back here around a month ago, as soon as we started breaking below that 28k level of support, we'll do for our next leg to the downside. So the support level I'm watching here based on these daily candle closes is coming into play at around 19,000, but if you're looking at the candle wicks, that's coming in at just above 17,500. Now zooming into the shorter term, taking a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, over the past 1 to 2 days, we've seen a little bit more short-term bullish price action after seeing a bounce from that golden pocket, which I've been talking about for a while now. Ever since I mentioned that golden pocket would be a level of support to potentially take profits from a short position, and obviously that area to take profits has turned out pretty well so far in terms of taking profits from a short position once again. But in the immediate short term here on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, we have a potential bearish divergence forming. Now, as I'm recording this video, this hasn't technically confirmed just yet, but right now at the time of recording this video, the Bitcoin price has made higher highs right here in the price action, but the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI is currently sitting in lower highs. So once again, that is a bearish divergence. And if this actually confirms, basically once we see a red candle just here, which actually confirms the second high in place, then that would confirm a bearish divergence. And that will basically be a short-term indication on the 4-hour chart telling us that we're losing some of that short-term bullish momentum, and we could potentially see another dip down, perhaps down towards around 19,000, where we're finding a lot of support recently. But if this bearish divergence doesn't end up confirming, then we still need to pay attention to other levels of resistance, such as this previous Fibonacci level coming into play at around 20.7 to 20.8k, which has been providing some short-term resistance as of recent. And anything above that, and I'll be looking towards this level just here, coming into play at around 21.7 to 21.8 1.8k. And now heading over to the Ethereum chart today, this right here is the weekly Ethereum chart, and as of recording this video, we're still finding a lot of support around that 38.2% Fibonacci level when you draw out the Fibonacci retracement tool from the March 2020 bottom to the all-time high, and that places the 38.2% Fibonacci level at pretty much exactly 1050. And as of recording this video, the weekly Ethereum RSI is also still sitting in oversold territories, but it's currently making an attempt of recovering out of those oversold territories. And for those of you who might be new to the channel, the only other time where Ethereum has been oversold here on the weekly Ethereum charts was at the end of the 2018 bear market, which is something interesting to consider. And now zooming into the 12-hour Ethereum chart, and we still have this ascending triangle pattern with a higher low structure but horizontal high structure so far. Now these two lines don't have a lot of confirmation. Really, we only have 2 touch points along both of these lines, and ideally we need to see 3 touch points along a line in order to actually confirm its significance, but these are still lines we can at least be aware of. And right now this level of support is coming into play at around 1060, which is not far off that Fibonacci level I just mentioned, and that level of resistance for this potential ascending triangle pattern is coming into play at around 1270 to 1280. But if you're looking at the 12-hour price oscillators for Ethereum, right now they're not showing a lot of momentum in really either direction. The RSI, for example, on the 12-hour chart is pretty much just trading sideways, and something similar can be said about the MACD. The histogram in particular is just chopping around that neutral level. But when you zoom in further into the 4-hour Ethereum chart, a potential bearish divergence still has 2 more steps to take in order to actually confirm here on the 4-hour Ethereum chart. Compared to the Bitcoin chart, it only has 1 more step to take in order to confirm that pattern for Bitcoin. But for the 4-hour Ethereum chart, on the other hand, we're still yet to actually confirm a higher high in the price action, while the 4-hour RSI is currently sitting in lower highs. But either way, technically speaking, a lower high in the price action is also a bearish formation. And looking at the 4-hour Ethereum MACD, the bullish momentum is struggling at the moment in the short term, while Ethereum is running into this level of resistance coming into play at around 1170, which is pretty much exactly where I said we would find resistance yesterday if you watched my last video. Now, if we do end up breaking above that level, then the next important level of resistance that I'll be paying attention to would be this level up here, which is the level that I just mentioned for that ascending triangle pattern at around 1270 to 1280. And as for support on the 4-hour chart, if we do get a further rejection here and actually pick up a bit more bearish momentum in the short term, then I'll still be looking at around $1,000 and around 1050 as major levels of support based on that Fibonacci level that I just spoke about on the weekly time frame, and this golden pocket and that previous price target for the rising wedge pattern, both coming in at around $1,000 per Ethereum. And now giving you a quick update on the Celsius situation, because within the last few hours, they've actually paid down their Bitcoin vault, their Bitcoin loan, by another $34.43 million approximately, which drops their liquidation price for this position to around 2.7k per Bitcoin, which means for Celsius to have this collateral liquidated, the Bitcoin price has to drop below this liquidation price, below 2.7k. So with this being the liquidation price, of course, there's a very good chance that they won't be liquidated. And if they continue to pay down this debt position, like what they have been doing over the past 48 hours or so, then pretty soon we could see Celsius pay down this entire position, completely pay it off. Because at the time of recording this video, there's only another $41.2 million worth of debt in this position. But keep in mind, they just paid down $34 million all in one go. And just yesterday, they paid down more than double that amount in this position alone. So based on the current rate that they are paying down this position, they could potentially completely pay off this position by tomorrow. Now, this was the main update for the Celsius situation over the past 24 hours. Of course, more actually happened. For example, Celsius did further pay down their compound loan, their compound debt position that I spoke about yesterday, by another approximately $12.1 million. And at the same time as that, Celsius also withdrew around 31,630 Ethereum, worth approximately $36 million at that time, from their compound collateral. And if you have no idea what all of this means, I strongly recommend you checking out my last video that I posted yesterday on the channel, because I went into much more detail about all of this and these particular positions. And once again, if you want to know even more about what's happening with this entire situation, and if you want to be alerted in real time, make sure to follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. Please beware of scammers trying to impersonate my account. My only real social media accounts are the ones that are linked in the description of this video. And if you want to maximize your profits in crypto, check out one of these uploads popping up right here on your screen. In the top left is a video showing you how you can make money, whether or not the price is going down or up. And in the bottom left is a video showing you how you can make money in choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that is everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.